Hello and welcome to another edition of our Sky Career Talks. I'm your host, Dion Wright, and this is the series where we display why it's great to learn with us and communicate. Today, we are joined by our guest, Lauren Bell. Lauren has a passion for preserving our cultural heritage, and she's turned that passion into her career. She's a 2018 graduate of the Master's of Information program with a concentration in archives and preservation, and she now holds the position of digital imaging technician at Princeton University Library. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us, and we're so glad to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's always good to talk with some alumni, and I know you're not too far removed, so you were where I am now, and I appreciate you lending some of your wisdom. So,
thank you.
So we're going to dive right in. And what's a brief overview of your career journey?
Well, I have an undergrad in business administration. That's my bachelor's. And I actually started out at a community college. So I was fortunate enough to be able to kind of like bop around and take photo classes and art classes here and there because that interested me too. So when I was done with my bachelor's for business, I ended up going back and doing photography. And then I was like, okay, I kind of know that I need to have internships. And I got a lot of internships in New York City in museums, and it kind of went from there. And then I ended up getting a couple of grant funded jobs that were at the Corning Museum of Glass and Wesleyan University. So I kind of had the university and the museum experience with that. And I was like, okay, now I should probably go to grad school so I can get a permanent job. And that was around the time that Rutgers had transitioned to the MI program, and they were just doing the archives and preservation concentration. So I think I was part of the first cohort, and it just went from there. Rutgers was definitely the catalyst.
That's so awesome. So, in any of your internships, did you find a mentor? Did you find a mentor here at Rutgers that inspired you to keep pursuing that career?
I would definitely say that Maria Del Bello was definitely my mentor from Rutgers. She is the head of the Archives and Preservation program. Um, she and I met before I had applied, I think, and we just hit it off from there. And she definitely pushed me and advised me to take classes that interested me, but would also provide the library background that I would need to kind of supplement, photography and everything that goes along with that. She's also the advisor for Source, which is the Rutgers student chapter of the Society of American Archivists, which I was the president of for 3 semesters while
That's
I was
awesome.
there. So we spent a lot of time together.
Well, that's great. I mean, and also, once again, we want to thank you for being one of our Sky Links mentors. It's really exciting to have you. And as a mentor now, I know that, you had some great mentors. If, you were in their shoes, what are you going to tell students who come and seek you out as a mentor? What's the best advice that you got on the, academic and your professional journey?
I would say do as many internships as you can and network as much as you can. If it weren't for my internships, I definitely don't think I would have ended up where I am now. As a side note, I would say try not to do as many unpaid internships as I did. And especially as a student, you have not a luxury, but you have the ability to have a lot more opportunities where you can kind of bounce around and see what works for you. You can go to conferences, you can join different professional organizations at a student rate. So that can be really beneficial.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great advice. Involvement makes the biggest difference. And that kind of leads into my next question. I know we kind of talked a little before the interview about how, the pandemic has really changed life in general, but in particular, how has it changed your career? And what advice would you give to someone entering the field now?
Well, the pandemic definitely changed digitizing. now that students have been online instead of being in the classroom, especially at a university level, they have to get content somehow.
Mhm.
So before we, not strictly, but I would say 99% of the time, we would only digitize like rare books, special collections, items, archival material. But now with the pandemic, we've had to transition to even general collections items that might still be in copyright, might still be available from publishers, but that would kind of fit a controlled digital lending strategy that a lot of libraries undertook in the pandemic. Um, so it's really kind of been a whirlwind to see how quickly we can adapt.
Yeah, and then too, that kind of leads to, my final question. And it's just, you said go grab as many internships, go get involved. All those things are super important. Now more than ever, people are looking for a career and not just a job. So, to finish this off here, what's your best advice for like having a fulfilling career and not just having a job and having another job? What would you say to people who are looking to be in one place and be in one career, right, and do that for a long time and be fulfilled?
You definitely have to find a place that you feel comfortable being at, that you love being at. Lucky for me, I love being at the Princeton campus. I love the library that I work at. Um, you need to feel valued, so you really have to seek out what works best for you. And especially as a student, like I said, you have the ability to do that a lot easier than maybe if you're in like, you know, a mid-career change or you have like a huge family obligation or something like that. Um, so yeah, just do whatever you can.
Absolutely. And like you said too, find what you love, find a place that you love, and it sounds like you loved your time at Rutgers. It sounds like you
Mhm.
love being in Princeton now. So, once again, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you being a part of the Skylinks mentorship program. And that we'll have a link in the description below showing you how you can get involved if you're a student or if you want to become a mentor as well. Also, like, share, subscribe, and comment, right? On how we can improve this and other people you'd like to see. But once again, Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time and thank you for being a mentor in the Skylinks program as well.
Thank you. Hope to see you guys in the mentee list.
Absolutely. Take care.